especially when you have a strong woman. It's so awesome. And most women just need to find their inner strength, their inner power. If we can provide that space for her to feel that, then you
Yeah.
balance out your strengths, man. Right? And
Yeah.
it's not like you're not allowed to feel. It's not like you're not allowed to, have bad days. But when we get there as a partnership is when you're supporting each other. Right now, we got to get over some of the bad years.
She's already noticing shifts, and I can see it's very fascinating because it's almost like super predictable. When I show up, I see her soften, almost like predictable, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is sort of easier than I thought, even though I've been pushed many times, or like I have lost my center at times. But I'm like, wow, she's actually noticing these things. I thought I was already doing some of these things, but I must not have been.
Well, you
So
might
she
have.
just,
You might have, Charlie. Like a lot of the times, the problem with our women is that we're doing some of the things. We're not doing
yeah,
everything, right? We're not
yeah,
showing up. So, like a good example, be an easy one would be like, well, we're providing, right? But we're not providing safety or security. We're just providing financially. So you see, it can be frustrating then because she really needs safety. She needs peace, right? So when you respond instead of
yeah.
reacting, now you're providing a whole lot more. And then we can keep stacking all of these things as you learn them, right?
Yeah, I think that's the stacking piece. And I think if I'd slipped in the past, I've heard you and Kathryn say it like takes 7 times to make that up or more. And I think I would do like 2 or 3 things really well, and then I would slip and it would feel like I'm back like 25 steps. So it's this continual, like I'm just losing footing. But now I feel like I'm actually gaining. And another win was yesterday because I'd mentioned Kathryn program when we spoke on the call. I don't know if you remember, but you said, just take it slow. So I mentioned it once or twice very briefly. And then I've just been showing up, doing the recordings, going through the training, taking more responsibility, structuring the day, these type of things.
Yep.
And then yesterday she was like, hey, I think, I would actually like to do that training you mentioned last week. I can see I haven't got the communication skills. I see my parents didn't teach me, and I was like, that really meant a lot to me. I was like, wow, this could really improve our relationship hugely if we're both stepping up in this way. I already feel changes in myself after a week.
That's amazing, man. And you're right. You're blessed. You're gonna see some people nodding or shaking their heads here right away because, when you have a wife who's super on board and ready to go, especially with the speed that you're talking about, this is amazing. Kathryn recently on one of the podcasts made a joke about, yeah, people say 7 positives to outweigh 1 negative. But marriage is more like 700 because you've taken all those steps backwards, right? So, yeah, I think this is wonderful. I'll make sure that we connect and we can get your wife and Kathryn connected. But yeah, that's the beauty, man. Like, ideally, you're showing up and it's just smooth. Congratulations, you're lucky you have a type 1. This is everything I ever wanted. In fact, even better than a type 1, she's like she's a type 10, she's ready to go. Right? So this is super awesome. I'm really happy for you, man.
Thank you. And I will say, if guys are nodding and thinking that it's easy, definitely the last 4 years have been challenging. She's a very powerful woman. She's led the whole time. I couldn't get ahead. I was trying to, I couldn't get ahead. So I just felt like I wasn't fully enough. She was always 10 steps ahead. And just by, stepping up a bit, I noticed that she's actually able to find a bit more safety. And then she's like, I actually want to learn this as well because she must be feeling, well, she's told me, she's feeling that I'm leading more, that I'm more resilient, that I'm moving into the day more powerfully. She said I used to be, getting up, there was some heaviness. And I was going through the day a bit like waiting for her to provide. So, yeah, I'm just being on the calls and hearing the recordings gives me strength. Like I feel the masculine strength. Sometimes I get knocked and my emotions get knocked and I'm like, fuck. And then I'll listen to the call and it sort of builds me back up. Reset. To find my center. Yeah. And then I can come in again. And there's been probably 10 times that I've done that with Sarah. I've come in and I've been like, where I'd normally come in, shut down, or like she needs to do something for me, or this or a bit needy, and I'm coming in like, no, I'm good, you know. And I think she's felt that, so that's building
and
trust.
this is such an important piece of the puzzle to understand, because this isn't a forever thing, you know, especially when you have a strong woman. It's so awesome. And most women just need to find their inner strength, their inner power. If we can provide that space for her to feel that, then you
Yeah,
balance out your strengths, man. Right? And
yeah,
it's not like you're not allowed to feel. It's not like you're not allowed to, you know, have bad days. But when we get there as a partnership is when you're supporting each other. Right now, we got to get over some of the bad years, give her the
yeah,
safety. And then from there,
yeah,
we can build on that. So this is great. I always tell guys, I don't know, I don't remember if I mentioned it in the reset or not, but I always tell guys, I love it when you have a strong wife, because this means when she's in her power, you're in your power, and you guys come together. This is superpower couple stuff, not couples goals, hashtag. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
like looking for striving for baseline, normal, or dreams that people think don't exist.